Nobody would blame you for looking at IDARB and not having any idea what the heck was happening. It's fast-paced, chaotic, and kinda incomprehensible, but when a match is over, you can be sure the winning team didn't get to the top of the leaderboard by chance. Part combo-based arcade fighter, part hockey, part basketball, part Super Smash Bros., IDARB is an intelligent, technical, and highly enjoyable little esport. Just make sure you have a good, even number of players, or your teams will end up lopsided, bored, or both. IDARB moves fast, and with 2 teams of 2, matches are ripe with opportunities for memorable plays. With 2 teams of 4 players, it's borderline impossible to keep up with, making it feel all the better when a plan comes together. Setting up those big moments earns more points, too, and that's the hook. Accuracy and precision takes skill, since you both move and aim with the left stick, and firing off a high-speed shot, or missing a pass, could cause the ball to bounce off the edges of the opponent's net and back into your defensive zone. Scoring is really hard, which makes getting a goal all the more rewarding, and it gets even better as the player count increases. Passing the ball to an airborne ally builds a combo multiplier that pays off with more points, encouraging risky, big moves. When a massive play failed, our room full of local players burst into hysterical screaming. One side relieved, the other horrified, both ecstatic for their next opportunity. A team of 2 is enough to get in position, pass the ball between players, and score goals by throwing the ball into the blocking net. Skilled players can change the flow of a match by intercepting passes and setting up alley-oops. Fighting comes into play when you attack ball-carrying opponents, which sends the ball loose into the multi-tiered playing field. That usually leads to a lot more screaming and shouting. IDARB is at its most enjoyable with a large, loud, competitive couch crew. It's a fantastic competitive party game. The only real downside is that there are no AI bots, which means that if you have an odd number of players, the teams will end up uneven and the match will be unfun. Usually you solve that problem with online multiplayer, but IDARB has big problems with inconsistent latency that leads to lag. That's a huge bummer in a game that moves this fast. Also, you can only queue into a game with as many players as you have locally. So playing alone means you can only play 1v1. Playing locally with 2 means you can play 2v2 matches only, and so on. That limitation really makes IDARB's online multiplayer feel neutered. If you're all in on IDARB, you can create your own character sprites using a simple editor. Characters are too small to allow for much sophistication, but it was enough that I could recreate my favorite Dota 2 heroes and recognize dozens of pre-made Halo, The Walking Dead, Super Time Force, and suspiciously Disney princess-esque characters. I also really like IDARB's music tool, where I spent a couple hours composing little themes, messing with drum rhythms, bass lines, and goofy sound effects, because the editor is simple without sacrificing any depth. I also had IGN's resident musicians check it out, and they made me awesome themes that play when my matches start. IDARB is a jack-of-all-trades package. It brings a lot to the table. Easy-to-use music creation, simple sprite tools, streaming options, and frantic, intelligent, competitive gameplay that's fun to watch and play. With fewer than 4 players, IDARB sparks, but never quite catches fire. In a local environment with 8, it's madness at its best. Our spirited competition brought huge noise and joy to the room. For more on IDARB, head over to IGN.